Welcome to Reece's Reviews from mygeekculture.com.au. My name is Matt, and joining me on this podcast today is Reece Cashel, who is decided to change his name to Reece's Reviews. Well, that's his middle name. Sorry, it's his middle name. So he tried to do it by deed poll, then they barred him, and so he went, how about...
You got to do Reece's Reviews, and there's no other choice.
Yeah, so it's Reece's Reviews Cashel. That's his. You should see the driver's license. It's really long and struggles to fit in his wallet. But we're looking at changing the name down the track because we're ever expanding in our discussions of movies, TV, and anything pop culture and entertainment related. So the original purpose that this podcast had started was to go through a deep dive of Reece's account of CashelSkyGuy on Letterboxd and get him to basically recite the movies that he's watched. But I am been contributing a little bit more too.
Yeah, so it's ever evolving.
Yes, exactly so.
Yeah.
But stay with us though through this episode because we'll be talking about an animated TV series which will give you the spooks, as well as something which is colourful, horny, and rare. And then we also have some entertainment honourable mentions.
As always, yes. So how's things been going so far with you?
I'm looking forward to talking about what was coming up because I finally caught up on a TV show, a most recent TV show, and you watched it too, which is great. So we can both talk about it.
It's very refreshing. It's refreshing to get onto this podcast and have a discussion about something that you and I have both seen. It's not just one-sided. Oh,
yes, and it was totally unplanned as well. So you saw it, and then I watched it the following day, and then I messaged you saying, hey, I've watched this, I binged it, and then he finally revealed that he watched it too. And then I'm going, you know what? I think it was the subtlety of him saying that he was planning on watching it, and then it stuck in my head, and like a rotting corpse, it went...
Right.
Yeah, it worked. So we watched it. So let's get into the first review.
Anyone who's listening to this is going, what the hell are they talking about? We are talking, of course, about the new animated series coming on Disney Plus from Marvel Animation, Marvel Zombies.
Yes, and it is delicious. The animation is fantastic. I'm going straight into it. If you watch the Marvel What If, it's exactly the same as well as the Wakanda animated series too.
Eyes of Wakanda,
that is Marvel's style, and also, I binged watched all 4 episodes, and I was very, very, very happy and entertained.
So the question I've got first up: have you watched? Have you seen all 3 seasons of What If?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I have.
So I've seen the first 2 seasons, and I've only literally this week, as recording this podcast, started watching season 3. But the good thing about Marvel Zombies, it is like they had 1 episode in season 1 of What If, and this kind of is a continuation of that one plot line of that season 1. So I already knew where things are going, and I found the fact that they're breaching a bit more of the ratings when it comes to this series, that they're actually going a bit more darker in tone. Like they experiment a little bit with that with Echo, and then more so with Daredevil Born Again, and now they're going into the animation style where they're getting a bit more into darker tones and the graphic nature of the ratings with the blood and gore, because you're doing zombies, so you've got that fact that you can contribute to. And I found that the 4 episodes, I wouldn't say I wasn't walking and going, oh my God, it's the best animated series I've ever seen. But what they set up in that 1 episode in season 1 of What If, and just the way this What If series and the Eyes of Wakanda, the animation style, I'm really, really liking it. It looks very crisp and beautiful. And how they were able to expand on this 1 episode's plot and expand it over this 4 episode series, which I think is very ingenious in the way that fact that you were able to do that and bringing some other characters that we didn't see. I loved the character of Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. I loved her series. I thought it's one of the few
Underrated.
yeah, gems on Disney Plus. A lot of the Disney Plus series aren't really great, but
No,
I
it
think
got so much hate, but that's because they connected it with Captain Marvel, which not many people like, but I freaking love it. And um, yeah, so it's for Ms. Marvel to spread her wings and become
an
like the
Avenger.
main. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the fact that they made Kamala Khan, she was the heart of of the 4 episodes of the season. That she was part that, and they brought in like that emotional tie between all the characters that she interacted with. Like she started off with Riri Williams and Kate Bishop, and then eventually led on to her having a good rapport relationship with Red Guardian and Yelena. I
well, I haven't watched Ironheart yet, so but
It's
it's
not.
still
It's not
made.
bad. It's not the greatest. It's not bad. A big key villain of the comics gets introduced into that series.
Mhm.
But it's not the worst. But there is a lot of aspects of that Ironheart series where you go, okay, you scratch your heads a bit. So it's not the best
Oh no,
series, but it's not
but
the
the
worst.
fact is that I was able to follow Marvel Zombies
Yeah, you
with the
don't need to
introduction.
because it's in that realm of what if. So you don't. It doesn't really tie into the main plot
No,
point of the MCU.
especially with the condition of certain characters who die,
Yeah.
and ones who end up in a magic glass floating
Bubble.
glass ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was fantastically animated. It had you on suspense, and then when some of the characters just start dying off, you think, God, how many characters do they have left? How it was like this with X-Men 97. The writing is just phenomenal. The storyline, like it just got to the point where you think, how far they're going to go with this? It's who else is going to be alive,
Yeah.
and who's
X Men
going to
'97
continue
is
on
a
the
series
story.
I haven't seen
Oh, I highly recommend it.
because I was getting a lot of mixed opinions about it because some people said I should go back and rewatch the original series, and then some people saying that I don't need to, but if I want to get a lot more context, I should. And then I was just getting mixed
the
things, so I
number,
never got
yeah.
around to watching it.
Well, you can watch it as is,
Yeah.
and then you can, if you're wanting more, then you go back and watch the original
Okay, that's
series.
good to know. Yeah, so I think I might go back and watch '97 because it got some good reviews when it came out, and then
Yeah,
they've already
but
picked
this,
up season 2. But I found this series with zombies. They delve a bit more into the emotional stature of certain key characters, and especially Red Guardian, Yelena, and focusing on Kamala Khan, and the fact that they brought back Wanda as the villain. I think is like she's the one. I think she's the most powerful character in the MCU,
oh,
and
you know what the funny thing is too? There was watched an interview of Elizabeth Olsen at
I think I know what you.
uh,
I think
pop,
she was at
yeah,
LA
pop,
Comic Con.
yeah, Comic Con, and then she was asked about Marvel Zombies, and she goes, "Oh, what's going on? I recorded that years ago."
Yeah,
So,
he had no idea.
yeah, yeah. So
She was
she
like,
goes, "Oh, it's
"I
out
did that."
now." Like I have no idea what it's all about. I just recorded my lines years ago, so
Yeah,
she
just
can't
shows you
remember
how
any
long
of
it
it.
takes for them to actually get the stuff out and what's going on in the
Yeah,
back end. But yeah, I just found the entire plot point was fantastic. I wasn't say it was fantastic. It's probably, but it's the
visually
narrative.
stunning.
Yeah, visually stunning. The narrative flow throughout all 4 episodes. I found that how they use certain characters, like I think they've understood that they've handcuffed Hulk in the live action MCU, and the way they tied him into this, the fact that he was now the center point of holding all that power of the Infinity Stones at the end was
Well, that's
very
a new
much
character. That is a new character.
in a way it
That's
was, but
not
it's
part of the
still Bruce
comics.
Banner and the Hulk, but he's
No,
transformed into a new
formed.
version. Yeah,
Yeah, Infinity Hulk, and
yeah,
the fact that he's not in the comics. That character is not in the comics.
yeah. It's
So they
original. It's
created this one.
original. Yeah, so
Yeah, and
yeah,
absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
yeah.
Like I was just in awe by the colors and the animation flow and
Hmm.
everything, and yeah, the story plot. And T'Challa, was it? How do you say his name?
T'Challa.
T'Challa. Yeah. So I love the fact that they included T'Challa, Black Panther
Hmm.
in a because I believe the writer the director sought permission,
Yep.
or and just in regards to how can they incorporate Black Panther
Yeah, because he was a big
playing a
part of the
pivotal
first season.
role. Yeah, exactly. And the way that they got around it was fantastic. Like
Yeah, very,
non-verbal.
very
So
honoring the character.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it all makes sense. And yeah, it's only 4 episodes long, roughly 2 hours
yeah,
total.
that's right.
It's a and well, boy, and yeah, what a cliff like twist.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think
What a twist. No,
I
that's
think
all I'm
it's good
saying.
that
That's not going to leave it as that.
they're delving into a little more of understanding when it comes to character choices. Like they're not just giving it a nice little um, sweet ending.
Right.
They're actually they're showing the humanity of these characters and them making decisions that are based on emotion. And I think how
Well,
they ended it was very much in a similar vein to a lot of other character
to
choices
WandaVision,
lately.
it was a very similar way to WandaVision of the power that Scarlet Witch has,
Yeah,
where like the fact that she was zoning in and out of real
reality.
reality, yeah, and you got and it's because zombie Wanda
Yeah,
or zombie Scarlet Witch had become self-aware
yeah.
and just and can alter reality. And when that all happened, I'm thinking, okay, well, the clue that she can do that is in WandaVision. So
Yeah, yeah, and then
yeah.
followed on through into Multiverse of Madness, and the fact that they even said that the power that they had, that scene in the beginning of the first, I think it's the second episode, where they finding that Thanos is getting self-aware when he having the Infinity Gauntlet, like he's becoming self-aware, is just showing how much like they're really trying to twist certain things, which I found was very intriguing to watch. So overall, I just found it was a great kind of time to watch. I wouldn't, like I said at the beginning, it's not the probably, I wouldn't say that, oh my God, it's the best animated series I've found, but it wasn't a disappointment where a lot of other things from Marvel have been on the TV front. And I thought it was a welcome surprise because I think that with What If, there have been a lot of times in season 2 where a lot of episodes just weren't really necessary. They weren't really that great. And I'm just I'm just started watching season 3, and I'm sometimes getting a little bit of that aspect where there's some episodes that are just not really that great when it comes to the writing. But I felt that all 4 episodes were well thought out and
Well,
planned out and executed very well, especially within the the voice acting performances by the cast and things like that as well. So I would give
so
this series a thumbs up in my opinion.
yep, I'll give this show a thumbs up. But also, I wanted more.
Yeah,
I like zombies craving brains. I wanted more. I
yeah.
think half-hour episodes were great. Maybe they could have done a 6-episode series or whatever, but it was just the right amount. But I
Yeah.
just wanted that little bit more, just that little bit more.
Yeah, you always like. I think that's the sign of a good series with some good writing. If you leave it with it like you're wanting more, I think that's where they've done the right job, where they've actually enticed the audience in that aspect. So I think I think they've done their job well. So anyone who's on the fence out there who's considering like if they've liked the animation style of X-Men 97 and the What If series, then I would say give this series a go. If you especially if you enjoyed that episode in season 1 of What If, then this is a great continuation and completion of that story arc as well. And I thought, yeah, definitely something you could definitely sit down and enjoy. And I wouldn't say it's something you could constantly revisit, but it's definitely a worth. Like I said, it only take 2 hours to get through all 4 episodes. You can binge it in one evening, so it's really good.
Which is what I did.
We're back.
Yeah. So from darkness and death to rainbows, positivity, and something that's quite unique and yeah, I can't work out how else
That's
to
okay. That's great. I
segue
can
into
take
it.
over from here.
But we go from dark death to more positive death, I guess, because it is.
Positive.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. So we're gonna jump on the train of a movie review. I recently watched a brand new film that got released this year called Death of a Unicorn. This is a dark horror, not dark, but it's like a horror comedy starring Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, Tia Leone, Will Poulter, Richard E. Grant, and it's a dark comedy. And I wanted to watch this at the cinemas. I just didn't get around to watching it. I'm getting more and more of a fan of Jenna Ortega as each performance I see of hers. So she's
Hmm.
one of the most busiest young actresses in Hollywood. Every time I see something online from her, she's always working. Like she is not being able to stop. I cannot imagine her schedule if she has time to breathe, let alone sleep. Like she is so busy. And the fact that I've just came off the back of watching Wednesday season 2, and I went, I want to watch something else with Jenna Ortega. So I sat down, and this has been on my radar for a little bit. So I was able to sit down and watch it, and I can say this film did not disappoint. It gave me
Yep.
the comedy aspect that was so heartily on the shoulders of Will Poulter. I think he shot. I think he was one of the highlights of this film with his comedic timing and his performance, which is fantastic. It was great to see Jenna Ortega, as always, brings the heart, brings the emotion of the film. The film backs on her on her arc and her emotions and her ties to the creatures of the unicorn. So you have this horror comedy original film with a twist of this twist on this fantasy creatures, which is very well kind of constructed in different ways, and how they perceive like the the fantasy aspect of what these creatures can do, and how it all comes about with just as simple as you've got Paul Rudd is a lawyer going towards this estate with these people where Richard E. Grant and Tia Leone are, and he's going to become their kind of a lawyer trying to boost about getting this contract so he can, in maybe in 5 to 10 years, be able to provide for his daughter and things like that after recently losing his mother, his wife,
So,
and
where does the whole death come in?
well, that's the thing. It's a whole thing of they're on their way. Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd, their father and daughter, and they're on their way to meet with Richard E. Grant and Tia Leone and Will Poulter, who are this rich people estate. He's going to meet them, and on the way to their
Okay, so
estate,
it's all starts with the estate. Yep.
yeah. So the Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd are on the way to the estate where they're driving through the forest and they hit a unicorn,
Okay.
and it all unravels from there. So Jenna Ortega gets entwined with the mystical aspects of the creature, and then they think they kill it, and then they bring it back to back to the compound. Whilst discussions are being made with the characters, it realizes that the creature is not actually dead, and it brings out different points of view with different of the creatures of with the unicorns and their different relations of them. So it just starts to unravel a lot of the mystics, and the horror aspect comes into play with the gore factor. So there is a bit of gore. It's rated MA, so it does have that gore
Oh, is it
factor.
rated MA?
I'm
Wow.
pretty sure it is. Give me a couple of seconds. I think I still got it on my feed here. From what it should have been rated MA if I didn't. No, yeah, rated MA.
Oh,
Definitely rated
okay.
MA, and I can see why. There's a lot of blood and guts when the unicorns attack and things like that. So, and you've got very much Richard E. Grant playing very stereotypical sometimes of his characters, where he's playing a bit of an ass and things like that, and Will Poulter being a uptight rich person with a lot of good one-liners and just very quick when it comes to the script. So I found that it was a fun, entertaining film to watch, and I think it shows again that Hollywood are making original films. When people come and say to me where they say Hollywood doesn't make anything original anymore, all it is franchises and recognizable IP. I say that's a big log of crock, because I say Exhibit A, you have Death of a Unicorn, which is an original film based around this fantasy aspect of a creature that we all know, and it failed at the box office because no one went and saw it. And that's just what happens. Original films are being made these days a lot more than they did in the past, but no one's going to see them, which is absolutely upsetting, because some films like this need to be seen and they're not, which is a very much a shame. It's really sad to see. But this film, I think, I'm not saying this film should have like $500 million at the box office, but this film definitely should have got a lot more than what it did. And so I found
Well,
it.
it is distributed by A24, and they're pretty
Yes,
good.
yeah,
They got a credible.
I love A24. They're actually throwing the dice on a lot of original IP with a lot of filmmakers that want to bring something fresh and new. And always know when you get an A24 film that you know you're going to get something that's out of the box. Like the fact that A24 produced Anora last year that got what's her name, Madison, a Oscar. They
Mm,
are showcasing these independent filmmakers that they are the studio to go to have these independent films made, and they can get onto a global market to extent and showcasing some great talent. And this film, not saying this film should be in the running for any Oscars or anything, but it does. It's a fun time. It's entertaining. You don't need to take it on too seriously because, like I said, it is Death of a Unicorn. You have that fantasy aspect in there with the horror aspect thrown into it, with all the blood and the guts and a little bit of the thriller aspect. But you don't take it too seriously because it's the way the script is written, how the characters are performed, and the way it's shot. It's definitely has some emotional ties when it comes to Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd's amazing as always. I still don't think that guy ages. Like I've seen him since the 40-Year-Old Virgin. He still doesn't bloody age. I want him to.
no, right.
He's
All he does
incredible.
is comb his hair differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can start to see him aging up, but it's like he's just between him and Jenna. Like you don't really like his character throughout the film, and then when he gets into the third act, you start to get a little bit of redemption act with him. But you
Gotcha.
fall in love with Jenna Ortega as a character. But I have a soft spot for Jenna Ortega, so I will always give her the benefit of the doubt because I actually just think she's an incredible talent, and I look forward to watching anything that she's going to be in. She's got another film that released I think last year that I'm still on my list of things to watch called Miller's Girl, which got very mixed reviews. So I want to get my own personal opinion about that.
I've
And
seen snippets of that, and yeah, completely different to what she's known for.
yes, so I want
Yes.
to see that. And just watching a lot of it, it's like the fact that she can do. She's, of course, she's so busy. She has the choice. She's got now a status where she can choose a lot of her roles. Like she's gone from doing Miller's Girl and then this independent horror comedy, and then she does Wednesday season 2. She does Beetlejuice and things like that. So she has definitely a wide range of things to do, and I think it's very a testament to the performance that she's provided. So overall, I think this film was a fun time to watch. I think that there's a chance you might actually enjoy it too. Like you just switch your brain off and just have some fun with it. It's not a long film. I think it only goes for about an hour and 40. So it's a pretty short film in retrospect. So I personally give it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. I didn't give it. I could be like borderline giving it 4 stars. So I gave it 3.5 as a confident 3.5. Just saying yes, it's definitely a thumbs up for me. There's certain aspects you can definitely fine tune when it comes to how they shot certain things and how the script was made and was projected onto the screen. But other than that, like it's a fun time to film. I wouldn't say it's the best film of the year or anything like that, but it's definitely a fun film you can just sit down and switch your brain off and enjoy. So that's my
Nice.
2 cents about it. Have you known too much? Have you heard about Death of a
No,
Unicorn?
I've only seen random pirated little videos that pop up on my socials, so I am aware of the whole thing.
Yep.
I'm yet to watch it because I don't have Netflix. So
I rented it. So
yeah. Okay. But
yeah,
I'll get around to watching it because I've seen bits and pieces of it, and it sounds like it's my type of movie.
yeah. I think after especially
But I
after
was going to
last
say,
week.
with your fascination of General Ortega,
Mhm.
right? If anyone, and like with her movies, in fact, there's another movie that she's got 4 other movies coming out. So
Wow.
one
You told me I was
more
busy,
later on
busy,
this
busy.
year. Yeah, one more later on this year, and then there's another one next year, and then yeah, so forth. But if you dare say, oh, she should join the Marvel Universe, Marvel
Technically, she
Cinematic
is
Universe, yeah, technically she is. Her first movie
Iron Man 3.
was, yeah, where
Yeah.
she played the vice president's daughter.
Yeah. I think she did.
Yeah,
She was
so
on the promo for. I think she was on Wednesday when she was doing a promo, and then one of the questions they asked the cast was saying, "What, um, Jenna Ortega in the Jenna who did Jenna Ortega play in the MCU? And everyone was stumped. They're going, she hasn't been around that long. How did she get in the MCU? And then she goes, yeah, I was in a 10-second scene in Iron Man 3. And I went, everyone was so shocked. I went, I remember her, very much remember her,
Yeah.
like very young Jenna Ortega. So yeah, I also was a big fan of her in Scream 5 and 6. So I enjoyed her in that as well. I think that's when she stood out for me. That's when I first got kind of introduced to her in Scream 5. And then since then, I've just been following her career. With as the words of Palpatine, I would follow your career with great interest. So very much so. But yeah,
That sounds creepy out of context,
I
but
know
yeah, we'll go.
I know that.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, Reece.
No worries at all. So that's my personal review on Death of a Unicorn.
All right, we go
Alrighty.
from unicorn sunshine weirdness to straight to the red carpet. Our entertainment report, somewhat of Entertainment Honourable Mentions.
This is the segment where we dive and educate our amazing audience of some of the things popping up in the entertainment industry and giving a bit more context and give our 2 cents about certain things. So I think I'm going to jump into this segment with something that I think my main man here, he's been dying to talk about. This is right up his alley. He messaged me about this today offline, and I went, guaranteed, yes, we're going to have to talk about it because as the recording of this podcast, it got announced today, and I'm going to leave it up to you, mate. What got announced today?
It was the Simpsons sequel.
That is right. We are getting. I think the first one the first Simpsons movie came out,
2007?
We're finally,
so
after all these years, getting a sequel. And
here's the thing. It's the Simpsons movie 2. That's the title. We don't know the proper title, if that's going to stick or not or whatever.
Yeah.
But it will be released in 2027 in August.
July.
So basically only 2 days before the actual 20-year anniversary, if you're going to be pedantic, the 20-year anniversary of the original movie.
Okay, because I think so they got announced today, and it said I think they got the official release date locked for the 23rd of July 2027 at the present moment. That's what's been locked in at the moment.
Oh, July.
Yeah, 23rd of July.
I thought it was August.
Just before August. It's like 2 weeks off, but yeah, 23rd of July.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, August. Yeah, my apologies. Yeah.
Yeah. So 23rd of July is when it's being released, and I think this goes back to when I'm pitching in this, and when I heard about this announcement today, I was just thinking we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where we were just talking about where you got these 4 big tentpole comic book movies coming out in 2027. Every time I see some of these announcements, 2027 is continuing just being a surprise to me. It's going to be the biggest year for the box office in theatrical films. I cannot fathom the fact that we're getting all the superhero movies that we talked about previously with the Batman 2 and Avengers Secret Wars and all that stuff, and now we're getting the Simpsons movie 2, and these big tentpole films are all being released around the same time. Within the space of 4 to 5 months, we're getting all these big pop culture, recognizable IP films, and The Simpsons is going to roll straight into that. I'm not going to have my wallet is going to be very empty in 2027. I am going to be going literally for the way things are shaping up. I'm going to be going to the movies every week, and I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to be ringing you up saying, okay, I don't care what you're doing. I'm coming out on the Thursday or Friday night, and we're hitting up the cinemas, and we're going and we're going to do reviews, and we're going to be delving into it because I think this is a film I'm going to have to go see with you because. To give our audience context, I have not grown up with The Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up. So I don't have a lot of context with The Simpsons. I've only seen certain clips, and I think I've only seen maybe about 5 episodes in its entirety in my life. I did go see the movie back in 2007 though. So I went into this movie literally only seeing like one episode, but then I went into the Simpsons movie and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And I still quote that film today. Like I like the whole thing of like, Dad, you can't use a bug zapper to catch the fish. Ooh, I think I'm gonna nibble. Or Spider Pig or things like that. So
Well,
I
please
thoroughly
allow me. Spider Pig, does
yeah.
whatever Spider Pig does.
Like, how did the
Man.
footprints get on the ceiling? Oh, it's classic.
So,
So I
yes,
thoroughly enjoyed it. So, but you
yeah.
are the biggest
Well, you
Simpsons
have
fan that
seven.
I know.
You have 791 episodes to get through.
Oh hell no! I
Yeah, at the
yeah.
time of this recording, that is, because they're about to return for its 37th season.
Jeez.
So by the time the movie comes out, like the second movie,
Yep.
it'll be up to season 39, rolling into season 40. So you think that they might have this planned? Yes.
Maybe just a
It's
little.
all to celebrate. It's all to celebrate the 40th season.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like I was just saying, you are the out of everybody that I know, you are the biggest Simpsons fan that I know. So I want
Just
to get
because
your
I won Simpsons trivia on the weekend.
that too. And when you and I went overseas together a number of years ago, and we went to Universal Studios, you were the one who insisted we had to go to the Simpsons land and check out all the interactive side of things within the Simpsons. And you were giving me all the context for. Just as like I was giving you context for Harry Potter, you were giving me all the
Yeah.
context for The Simpsons. So I want to give you the
The-
floor now. What are you expecting from this film? What's your anticipation to what you want to get? What's your expectation? What do you want to get out of this film?
Oh, I'm just looking forward to it in general. Um, the fact that it's going to be 20 years since the first one, at the end, that doesn't really matter because the fact that we're getting a sequel and it's been a running joke that they wouldn't, we won't wait 20 years. Like it was in an episode where there's like writing on the chalkboard, so we won't wait 20 years for another movie, but they've done it, so 20 years. So everything's meta, but I'm looking forward to it because the animation style has completely changed since. Like, there's so many. The show's gone through so many evolutions of animation style,
Yep.
and yeah, like who knows where this is going to go? To be honest, it's going to be a hit no matter what. And because this is like Disney will throw every single cent at this because The Simpsons is the highest.
I'm really intrigued to see what they're going to do with the marketing on this.
Oh, the merchandise is going to go nuts. Like I'm struggling just trying to keep up with the current merchandise. But it's just, yeah, like if anything, what they really would need to do, which I would love for them to do, right? So sure, yeah, make a sequel to the main movie based on the family, but I'd say that they should release an animated series or animated movie, a spin-off, but based it on Radioactive Man, just like the episode where they'd make the Radioactive Man movie. Well, they don't, but they do. But they need to make a spin-off, like maybe a full-length Itchy and Scratchy, or well, do it so it's just on Disney Plus or something like that, because they do a whole bunch of short films on Disney Plus. They just release them exclusively to Disney Plus, or they have them at the start of one of their movie releases. But I am looking forward to this, and everything in the news reports and everything else. Everything's like, unless it's posted on their official Facebook page or their social media accounts, everything is hearsay. So at the moment, all we know is that there's a sequel coming. We've locked in the date, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's all we know so far at the time of this recording.
So, I'm intrigued about it.
Ignore all the other bullshit.
Yeah, I'm intrigued about it. Like, you don't get too many of these big IP animation sequel films, like things spawning from very popular IP television shows. So I think when you've got something like The Simpsons, being able to put that onto the big screen and have that much of the marketing they put towards it, I think it's going to be a big event. because with you growing up with The Simpsons, I grew up with watching Dragon Ball Z. And so, even though Dragon Ball has films that they've made, they are shot like they're going to be straight to streaming, straight like TV movies. And sometimes they get a theatrical release, but it's a very limited theatrical release that they will release it for about a week or maybe two and have very limited sessions. And then that's pretty much it. And then you wait about a couple of months and then they'll put it onto VOD, video on demand. And so the fact that you've got this big popular IP with The Simpsons, and the fact that they did so well with The Simpsons, the movie, and they'd taken 20 years to get another one, even though the first one did so well. Now they've got finally getting back to the drawing board to give us a sequel, and it's going to. I guarantee this film's going to be huge. I'm not saying this film is going to make $1 billion or anything, but as long as it's because I don't know how much the production budget would be for making a film and things like that, but of this one, because I'm not too sure how much the first one costs, but I think it's just going to be very a testament to the fact that we're pretty much at the end of the films being affected by the COVID era, and now in 2026 and 2027, it's full blown Hollywood is back in action kind of thing. So I want to see what
the movie cost 75 mil and made over 500 mil.
There you go. Okay, so 75 mil was the production budget, and so that was back in 2007. So now we have to. The things are definitely going to be a lot more expensive now to make. So that's 70. I just hope
it's Disney.
Yeah, no,
Disney,
but
Disney won't care.
Yeah, no, but that's the problem. Sometimes they put in. They put too much on the budgets of these films, and they need to reel things in. So especially with this style animation, you don't need to throw $200 million in an animated film. You can, like you said, it was 75 million back in 2007. I think they can make this film for just over 100 mil and completely fine, especially with all the actors that they would have coming back. Their salaries might get a little bit of bumping, seeing as how it's going to be a theatrical film instead of a TV episodes on the normal contracts, but it won't be as a big throwout. So it's just pretty much be hiring more animators and making sure they get the work environment that they need to complete the job. So I'm gonna be there watching it open weekend with you. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna make sure I watch it with you, and just to see what they provide. If it's gonna be a direct sequel to the first one, we don't know. It's just gonna be a fresh new story or anything like that. So I think that's going to be where the marketing comes in. So they got to convince the audience that this is a film that's honors all the fandom that Sims have had over the last almost 40 years. But also, if no one's ever seen any of the series or only seen the movie, then it's a new installment for people to get on board with The Simpsons and introduce a new audience to them as well. So it's a very hard thing to do, especially because they've waited so long in between sequels. So it's going to be a tough nut to crack with the creators on it. But because they did it so well with the first one, I have faith that they'll be able to do it again.
Yep. So do I.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to it, especially if it's going to be shown in IMAX. I'll be there front and center.
Awesome.
Cool. Or in Screen X or whatever it is. If the ticket's going to cost me $100, I'll buy it.
No, it won't be that much. I really don't think they put it. I don't think they put The Simpsons on IMAX or anything like that. I think it just might be on VMAX or Extreme Screen or something like that. So
either way. Cool. All right. Well, the next honorable mention, Entertainment Honourable Mention, and that is the trailer for a particular movie, which we mentioned offline, I believe.
Yeah. So
week.
It's
and
going
then, bam,
into,
it appeared.
Yeah, it did. Actually, it did. So we've actually talked about this film a few times now in these last couple of episodes. So apologize if our audience is getting tired of us talking about it, but yes.
Well, now that we got an official trailer for it.
Yeah, well, we got a teaser for it, and now we've got what's called the trailer 2. So there's an official trailer 2 for Avatar: Fire and Ash. In this trailer is where we got a bit more what you expect from a second trailer. We got a bit more of a story. We understand a bit what's going on in the story. Have a bit more of an understanding of where things are going to go. Expands of the footage when it comes to showing us new things and new characters and things like that, and how things are going to progress. So I thought this trailer was action packed. The fact that there was still a standard trailer of 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 2 minutes 40 seconds, it felt like it was like a good 5 minute trailer because there was so much going on in the trailer. There was so much action, and it has a lot of key plot points that the story is going to include, and showing what James Cameron has said on the behind the scenes sort of things, that there is a lot of things that he couldn't talk about because of giving everything away.
Mm-hmm.
That we've just touched on some of the narrative plot points of what's going to include in this film, and he's still touching things up with the graphics and the sound mixing and things like that. So the fact that we've got this film where it's just showing the beauty of Pandora and everything like that, but now going into this new tribe and showing how the different characters are going to involve, like the fact that you've got this. Do you remember The Way of Water?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you remember that the character of the young kid who ends up being the son of,
Adopted or whatever.
or
Yeah.
he's
Oh no, sorry. No.
he's the son of the bad guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But there's a shot of him being able to is walking around Pandora without a mask on, so he's able to breathe. And the fact that they had that plot point with Jake Sully saying, if the humans can breathe on Pandora, we are in serious trouble. I went, okay, so that is where the narrative of the story is going to be, I think. But then James Cameron said that that's just one plot point. They got other versions of it when it comes to the Fire Nation and things like that. So the trailer was phenomenal. I thought this was a great trailer. I thought it definitely it did what it's supposed to do. It is topped up my anticipation for the film. It's given me understanding of what some of the story plot points are going to be. It showed the narrative of some of the character growths between Natiri and Jake and the kids and things like that, and how the fact that you got it's going to bug me now. I got to find out the name of that character's name. So I'm going to quickly jump on IMDb and type in Avatar, because the character that they've got on that. So where we go, Avatar. I just put in The Way of Water. So Quartridge. The character played by Stephen Lang, Quartridge, I think his name is. The fact that you got Quartridge teaming up with the Fire Nation, saying that if you want the Sullys, we're going to team up, kind of thing. So you got the Fire Nation and the Quartridge teaming up, and then you've got the Sullys taking on them as well. So it's going to be the fact that he said that it's what you were seen in the first two. They're going to open up the world even further and show us things we've never seen before. I'm going, how much more can you show us like you haven't already done in the first two films? And then they showed this trailer when you're going, how more? And then you got this epic shot with the Pandora whales in a way. And then you're going, wow, that's epic. And then it then pans out and even further, and you see a completely different shot. I went, like, how does he come up with these things that it's so epic in scale? I don't know. They haven't officially released what the runtime's going to be. A lot of people are expecting it to be around the 3 hour mark again. So we'll see how that turns out. But I am pumped to see Avatar Fire and Ash. The trailers did its job. I'm intrigued about it. I'm excited for it. I still think Wicked for Good is still my number one most anticipated film for the remainder of the year. But again, Avatar, like I said in the past, this one is just underneath. I think it's going to be grand in scale. It's going to be epic. It's James Cameron.
They are going to release Way of Water again for a
next week.
Yeah.
The time of this recording, they're releasing it for a week next week, which is going to boost that's box off their box office as well. So The Way of Water is going to get a bit of a bump on its box office as well, which I found it was kind of interesting. Like they're releasing it now and not more closer to Fire and Ash's release, because they did that back in 2022 or 23 when they were releasing Way of Water. They re-released the first Avatar maybe about I think it was like 3 or so weeks before The Way of Water, and that gave it a bit of a
Hmm.
bump. So I'm not too sure why they've changed and releasing it and releasing Way of
Well,
Water 2 months before it, but yeah.
Disney don't care. They've got in the highest grossing films, they've got the top four covered. Then
Yeah,
it
they
then
pretty
it
much do.
goes with rank number 5 is the Nisa 2, which is an A24 movie.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought the trailer was fantastic. Very visually stunning. Great depth on telling us a bit more about the narrative on the plot of the film and just seeing where it's going to go. So I sent you a link to the trailer. What did you think? You're the skeptic of Avatar on this podcast. You're not as a big a fan as what as I am in the franchise. So, but what did you think? Did this make you a
I'm willing to
believer?
get. It just made me think. Okay, continuation of the Way of Water, but
Okay.
no, no, I'm intrigued by it. So, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. If I miss it at cinemas, I miss it at cinemas. But maybe I'll have a justification for it if I see it in the cinema, because I do remember seeing Avatar in the cinema and I was blown away by it. So,
Okay.
yeah, maybe, yeah, we'll go end up seeing it. I'll probably see it for the first time when you've seen it on your fourth time,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that's within the first week.
depending how good it is, and how much of an experience I have. Like I saw The Way of Water, I think 2, maybe 3 times at the cinemas. I think, and I saw the first
Mm,
Avatar 3 times at the cinemas. So I've both seen the first 2 Avatars 3 times at the cinemas because I think it's especially when it comes to those kind of films, you watch if you have that kind of experience, you can miss a lot of things when you're having that kind of an experience. It's the same thing I had when I had Superman. Like you had that kind of experience, and then you walk out, and then when you've done that big gloss of eyes when you're watching a film like that, then you go back and you watch it again, and you can pick up on sort of things you've missed. And so that happened definitely with the other 2 Avatars. Like I was picking up on things I missed in the first viewing. So that's what if you had that kind of experience, I had that. So if Fire and Ash is going to be anything like those two, I can see myself watching them a few times just to have that experience in the with an audience. I think it's going to be fantastic to do. So yeah, I'm very intrigued and excited to see what James Cameron provides to us. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward
any
to it.
final thoughts on you?
No, I'm just genuinely looking forward to it. So
Nice.
I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I am looking forward to it.
Well, listen, you're not the biggest fan of the franchise. You're a little bit of the
No,
skeptical side of things.
ma- ma-
Like you said, if you didn't watch it, it's not going to change anything. So I think it's Avatar is one of those films I find it's it is an experiential event when it comes to watching it on the big screen. Like once it goes off the big screen, you won't get the same experience when you're watching it at home because you
mm,
won't have the Dolby surround sound, the clear picturing of the big screen and things like that. So if you can get that you can only get that when you go to the theater, go to the cinemas. So I think Avatar is one of the fair few films out there where you can get that kind of experience, and
yeah,
only way you can get that is good to go to the cinemas, and so that's why I think a lot of people will go see this multiple times because you don't get them very often with Hollywood these days. Like the big, massive films that it's where it's the experience on the big screen is very different to watching it at home. Like there's some films that you can just watch it on both sides. You can watch it on both experiences, and it doesn't change your aspect of how you view it. But when you watch a
mm,
film like Avatar, where it's very much the 3D and the CGI and the big beautiful scoping shots and cinematography and the sound mixing and the score and that kind of stuff, that is all the immersive experience you get from these Avatar films, and you can only really get that when you are watching it in the cinema, and you don't really get that when you're at home. So that's just
no,
I think, even though like I said in the past that Avatar is not a franchise, but I say it's on my top three favorite franchises of all time. But at least it's a franchise that I'm confident in that I can say it's two for two. I've loved one and I love two, so I have no doubt that I would love number three just as much because it's the same. James Cameron's given the same passion and energy for it. So I'm intrigued to see what he provides and how much he expands the world of Avatar and the Land of Pandora. So
Excellent. I'm glad that you're thrilled.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're mediocre.
I,
I'm glad it
Who I
didn't
am.
I'm glad it didn't diminish your like I said, trailers are meant to pick up take your excitement and your anticipation for them and knock it up a few notches. I'm glad it didn't do the opposite for you and bring it down. You're still in the same wavelength. Yep. So that just wraps up Entertainment Honourable Mentions for this episode. Anyone who has any thoughts and opinions about this, please leave us a comments. Please be nice. The legend Matthew reads them, and he would only we would only talk about on air the ones that are positive. So leave us positive reviews. If anyone does have thoughts and reviews, or even what's the word?
Feedback.
Feedback. That's the word. Feedback. That's the word. Feedback about what us wants to watch, and just some comments about what we want to experience and watch. Please put them in the comments below from all things, which the legend will put in the show notes. And
also ones that people have already submitted feedback, or not feedback for, but recommendations.
Yes.
They have not been ignored. They're on the to watch list. So yes, we'll get around to either Reece will or I will. But either way, they have not been ignored. Okay, so I acknowledge those, and I will promise to watch them eventually.
No worries.
So,
no worries.
Just letting you know.
Well, that wraps up this episode. Thank you so much everyone who's listening in. And as I said a few times, we appreciate anybody who is listening to this podcast. We don't care if it's 5 people or 200 people. We appreciate every single one of you who takes the time to listen to this. We're just 2 normal blokes here in Australia just chatting about movies and all things entertainment. So if you get some enjoyment out of it, we've done our job, and we are very proud about that. So please continue on listening, keep leaving feedback and reviews and all that fun stuff. And as I say every single episode, may the force be with you.
Thank you very much, Reece. This has been Reece's Reviews from mygeekculture.com.au, produced by Matt Fulton Productions, mattfulton.com.au.
Cha-ching!
Yeah.
Spider pig. Spider pig.
Spider pig. Spider pig dogs.